Switch to live. And we are live. Cool.
All right. First guest, how does that feel?
Oh, I mean, what an honor. I mean, first guest on a shitcoin.com pod. That's a
Yeah.
pretty big. I'll put it this way. You can send the first transaction on a blockchain. You can be the first person to be drained for something. You can be the first person to go to jail for some kind of dev thing. But there's nothing like being the first guest on this pod. So yeah, it feels great.
And as you noticed, I don't know if you follow JMO on Twitter. You
Yes.
should. Cunty Cakes 123. If you've been following him, you know that he's in Italy because he's been complaining that the pizza in Italy is shit and that it's much better than you. You're from New York, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan. I lived in New York City for years when I worked in trading, so very much familiar with where you're going. Yeah.
What's the pizza situation? Is JMO
You know,
correct?
Okay, so I gotta say something. This is just me. I actually never liked New York City pizza. I was always very down on it. People will go all big on it. They'll have you go to Joe's Pizza in Manhattan. It's because Peter Parker went there and Spider-Man. Joe's Pizza is terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. It is just literally one bland piece of pizza. Where I'm from in Michigan, I feel like we actually have way better pizza, like Detroit style pizza, 313 style, which is like the square style. It's really nice. So yeah, I've always kind of been a hater of New York pizza, but I'll admit I'm kind of in the minority there. People tend to defend it pretty hard.
Yeah, Blake, what do you want to do about Halloween's audio here?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a bit of a flicker in the audio. I don't know what it is. It's just like a bit of feedback.
I could switch. So there's two things we can do. I can switch to Chrome. I could also not use my headphones. I could try using
yeah,
try that.
Try
here, let me
with
take my
Let's see
headphones
if that
off.
works.
1 second. Yeah, let me do that. 1 second.
It's hard to explain. It's like
yeah, it's like feedback.
It's like your 5% Decepticon. Yes, I'm wearing my Kraken shirt in celebration of the upcoming IPO.
Well, now we've got random companies. What is Bullish, by the way? Have you heard of that before?
No. Yeah. So for the people, I don't know if this is in the newsletter, but there's a company got listed on the New York Stock Exchange. I think was it that or Nasdaq? I can remember. This is boomer stuff. I've never owned a share in my life. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But so this company went public, and it's called Bullish, and it's a crypto exchange that started at $30 and went up to 100. I don't know what that means because I think in terms of market cap.
Well, sorry, can the two of you hear me again, or am I back?
We are good.
I can hear you.
That's working way better.
Oh, okay.
Sounds better.
I was just gnashing at the bit because Bullish. I wanted to talk about that so much, bro. When I worked in market making, no, Bullish has been around. When I worked in OTC, they would be like this huge freaking counterparty. I'd always be like, where the fuck is all this money coming from that they have? Like, seriously, you will never hear about them. Like,
What is it?
Anyone. It's like I barely even understand it. It's basically like an institutional facing exchange. They were a counterparty to where I was, but I've never been to their website. I don't understand what their product is. I don't understand what their product market is.
Bullish exchange.
Yeah, no, it's
There's
like
a website.
it's
It's bullish.com. I've never seen this.
I know, and it's like you would never hear about it on crypto Twitter either, right? I mean, like you would think Bullish, and like they're raising billions in this IPO, so it kind of made me realize I was like, man, like, I know there's an untapped market out there. Like if you just simply portray yourself to the more like Silicon Valley, Wall Street, Web 2 people,
Yeah.
you can raise a lot more there than you can
Well,
through an ICO.
This website looks like a shitter on Solana into by summer.
I know. Dude, I know. And they've been, I think they might have started in like maybe 2020, 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a classic like regulatory capture thing. I do know that they've been promising this IPO for so long. Like they've been using this IPO to get institutional clout for a while.
Okay, that is very interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I've been talking with Blake a bit about how will the cycle end.
Ooh.
So I'll pitch you my theory, which is very short.
Please.
It's corporate treasuries listed as companies, or they can be ETFs, whatever, with leveraged shitcoin holdings. So they borrowed money against their own shares, against whatever. I don't know how that works, but they're gonna borrow money and they're gonna be leveraged long, first on Bitcoin, then on Ethereum, then on Solana, and then it's gonna work down the list, XRP, and they're gonna get all the way. There's gonna be a leveraged dash ETF, and some pension fund out of Nebraska is going to invest in it because they don't understand, and it's going to blow up, and then everyone's going to panic and liquidate everything, and we'll just hope that we don't get massive regulation as a result. What do you think?
Well,
Let's
I
hear
mean,
yours though. I want to hear yours.
well, yeah, no, well, first I'll say to your point, I think that the last point you make is a really good one, right? Will we see major regulation after a crypto meltdown? Because we haven't
Mm,
really to this date, right? Like, if you look
mm.
at the prior cycles, even though it was like a big deal to us, the rest of the world kind of didn't notice,
Yeah,
like
for
it
sure.
wasn't like the average American was losing, the average Londoner, whatever you want to say. I
Mhm.
feel like that's going up and up, and you make a really good point. This could be the cycle where we blow up in a way that we see new regs, and I too hope that doesn't happen.
It will be rich.
As
It doesn't
far as
matter.
I mean, I think that the current regulatory regime, yeah,
It's a good
I mean, the
point.
current regulatory regime is actually it's pretty decent, right? Like you look at like the Genius Act and whatnot, like that's bringing in like a lot. I mean, I remember
Crime is
when
legal.
like exactly, yeah. Crime is legal. Dude, Trump releasing his meme coin, I was literally just like one hand pointed to heaven, tears streaming down my face. Thank you,
Yeah,
God. Like I can now continue to live in America. I'm not even
yeah,
kidding. I let like my
amazing.
foreign entity companies collapse. I was like, no need for this anymore. I can just run an American LLC these days. Yeah. No, I
But
think that as oh sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as far as the regulatory stuff goes, I remember like the when I was in trading, a guy that I worked with who had been, longtime Wall Street guy, very, not native to crypto and whatnot. I remember him saying, "Yeah, I just, he was in this group chat that was called. It was this group chat that I was certainly not allowed in because you had to be a managing director of a, like TradFi bank who went into crypto to be in this group chat. But it was a chat called Wall Street Degens, and in the yeah, I know, right? So a bunch of guys who like used to make like 3 mil a year at J.P. Morgan or whatever are now
Mm,
talking about the new shitcoin they want. Anyway,
amazing.
he told me that in the chat they were saying, like, man, I really need to seize. This is probably, I would say, 2023, like early 2023. They were
Mhm.
saying things like, I really just, I need to see CZ, an Interpol notice for CZ. And once that happens, I'm willing to bid. For whatever reason, all the institutional
Mhm.
people were like, we need to see CZ go to prison and then we'll bid.
Something.
Yeah, and then look what happened. So
That
there's kind of
happened.
a gravitational pull to this kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, as far as like the cycle ending and what happens there, I do think it's really likely that we top this year. I think everyone's
I've seen you
convinced that
write
we're
that.
going to yeah, everyone's convinced we're going to go deep into 2026, and that could happen, yes, but like
Mm.
inherently it would mean that this time was different, and this time
It's
probably
never
won't be
different.
different. No, it's
Never,
not.
it's never
And
different.
just look at the I mean just look at the macroeconomy too. Like it's so
It's
obvious
terrible,
that
right?
well, I mean, I'll put it this way. It's bullish for risk assets, but it's not like
Yes.
some kind of long-term it's not some kind of long-term like, oh, we're about to get a 2 year. You've got inflation in the United States. You have inflation rising stronger than the
Yeah.
labor market is weakening.
Yeah.
I think that's really clear. I think that there's
It just
some
means
people who
people.
have the
It just means people. I don't know any TradFi stuff. It just means normal
yeah.
people have less money.
Exactly. Well, and that's what like, and people see the value of money as declining, right? So, I mean, I think that, granted, there are some people that take the view that, oh, the labor market's going to get super weak from these tariffs, and then, inflation, it'll be weaker than inflation and you'll see stimulus. I don't see how that happens because I don't think that tariffs are going to kill the labor market in the US. I don't think that you're going to see even really that big of a shock on prices. I don't really see tariffs being like driving factor. More so, I just think that the Fed will end up in a position where it actually might find itself raising interest in 2026, in part because of the strength of the economy, right? You're going to have, I think, the labor market in a position where they'll feel they can do that. And the stock market's already at all-time highs, right? Like, go look at the last time that they had a rate increase. Like, that was what killed the last bull market. Like, back in 2021, 2022, the market sold off because it was clear that rate hikes were coming, right? So I just would assume that once it becomes clear that's going to happen again is when we see top put in.
We actually we did a run of Unicom t-shirts with the writing on the back. I'm sure it said the anti. Was it like it was the anti macro meta
Anti-macro. I've
club?
got the t-shirt on right now.
Oh, can I see the back? I'll tell you. Yeah. So this is the anti-macro meta club.
Yeah.
Because we need to find. What do you think, Graham? I think we need to find a way to rise above all the macro stuff and get people excited about our technology instead of fucking unemployment.
Just 1 second before we continue, though. So Graham, there's a slight bit of. I think I've worked out on my side the setting, so you can put your headphones back in. I think. Try that again.
Okay.
So yeah,
Very cool.
there was an issue
Very
on
cool.
our side.
All right, I'll just because here, let me. I don't want. I'll answer this question and I'll put them on because I'll turn them on and it might interrupt me. But yeah, to what Andreas is saying about the tech and everything, I think that it's interesting. I kind of agree, but maybe in a different way. I think that people who understand engineering, such as yourself, right, they can become interested in a more deep esoteric way. I think for the participants that will really move the needle, it's going to be the financial tech that will get them, right? Like one example of that is the fact that in TradFi, all of settlements are done on what's called a T+2 basis, which means that
Right. Yeah.
right, yeah, if I want to send you $300 million, it's going to take 2 business days to get over. And if I send that on a Friday, you're not getting it until Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
But if, as we all know, in crypto, it's instantaneous. So stuff like that is a really big deal, and that's why you see stable coins get their draw. And, whether it's that or maybe even just perpetual futures contracts, which didn't exist until crypto. You talk about those things to people in finance and they can't debate you, and they, even people that hate crypto, they can't help but be impressed by that.
I had a question actually. So we were talking about main characters and mentioning CZ from the last cycle. Who's going to be the main character from this cycle that ends up having a disastrous end? Any predictions?
Oh man, that's is it? Yeah, that's a really good question. I think if I were to predict who's going to be the disastrous end from this cycle, that's hard because you look at like SBF and Do Kwon, they ended up in jail, right? It's like who's going to go to jail this cycle?
Yes.
Yeah, who's going to go to jail this cycle? Maybe if that's the question, who's going to go to jail? I mean, I don't think that he's going to go to jail, but I could see and I support what he's doing, but Tom Lee or, any of the people creating treasury companies now. I mean, Saylor himself had a really tough go, through that bear, right, for sure. But no, he's obviously not going to jail or something. Suju is back at it with a new platform, so maybe he's gonna keep testing the waters there. We could certainly see. Yeah, that's a really tricky question. I don't know. Do you have any ready answers? Because I feel like we maybe haven't even like last cycle we had Luna, right? Like, what is the crime yet? Maybe the Pumped Up Fun guys will go to jail. That could be it.
I was going to say.
Yeah, maybe Alon will go to jail. Well, certainly anyone involved with Libra, like that Hayden guy, will probably end up going to jail.
True.
I think so.
That's not come to fruition yet, right? That's not really entered the legal system, I don't think, in any way.
I guess the question is, no. The good question there is like, who's going to arrest them, right? Like who actually cares to put them in jail, So, but yeah, if I had to guess of like a leading figure that could have some kind of big blow up, I do think that
the Bonk Bot guy too, just because like or not Bonk Bot, sorry, not the founder of Bonk, but like the Bonk guy, you know, the guy that's being Unipix, right? That's being like
Yeah.
leveraged logging Bonk. He just has like the perfect like level of like autistic long form thesis / max risk degen attitude to be
Okay.
like the top. You know what I mean? I'm not even calling him wrong or anything here. I'm just
Mm.
saying it's like think about Gainsey, how he made it, blew it all up, made it again, right? I could see that.
Did Gainsey make it all again?
Well, maybe he made it all and lost it again. That here, that leads to another good question. I'd love to hear the two of you answer. What does it mean to make it? Like, how much do you need to say you've made it?
You
Oh.
need to you need to at least escape nine-figure hell.
You mean
I'm not there
not?
yet.
I mean, some of us have different standards. No, I know what you mean. I feel like making it is such a good question too, because like, if you have made it via a token that's totally illiquid, you haven't really made it, because you can't
Right.
get out of it. So, it's really tricky.
Mm,
But what percentage of people do you think actually make it? Like if we have 100 people that participate in crypto, how many make it?
It must be
nobody.
very small, but also as well though, imagine it literally, I think the sign you made it is you can log off Twitter CT and never
Mhm.
look back and not
Yeah.
It's
care.
true.
And maybe you drop in, like I saw the other day, Eric Voorhees dropping in and saying like some sale of ETH wasn't him. He just drops in from time to
Yeah,
time,
I
just
saw.
drops some bombs, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We had
That's amazing.
when I was working at Kraken, there was a legend about the guy. I actually know his name. I'm not going to say it, but there was a dude
Okay.
who was working on the Kraken platform in the early days. I'm not sure when, could have been 2013.
Okay.
And he was paid exclusively in Bitcoin. And he just
Wow.
he just quit, and I
Yeah.
don't think and I don't think was ever around again. And I don't know how many thousand Bitcoins, but if you're working full time as a software engineer in 2013
Yeah.
with that Bitcoin
Yeah.
price, you're
Oh my
you're
God.
you're probably getting paid thousands of Bitcoin a year, right?
No,
As full time.
totally.
So
And
that
what's
that guy
crazy?
that guy made it.
And what's crazy too is I was watching Parks and Recreation, a show, made in the United States, and there's an episode from 2013 where they shill Bitcoin. Like I'm not even kidding you. Like
Oh
no one has
man,
an excuse.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody has an excuse. Like you weren't
yeah,
early. I'm sorry. In 2013, a national TV show
quite so
was
right.
shilling, yeah, Bitcoin, right? But to your point about how like at the end of the day, it's like could you leave CT and never look back? I find
Yeah.
that to be so true, but it's also so disturbing because it's like why are like look at the three of us like why are we still here? Like
I don't know.
what is it within us? I think for me it's like maybe because I'm younger, I was like raised by crypto. It's like I don't know how to socialize without it, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. It's my main thing. Um,
Yeah.
all my closest friends, all of them, even just my friends I don't see all the time, everyone is in crypto. Like if I go skiing in the winter, everyone there, if there's 30 people, there's 30 people in crypto. And if I
Yeah.
go, no matter what I do, any vacation, like everyone is in crypto. They've been in forever. So I think it's the same. It's all I know. So if I
And
it would like what I would have to join some subculture. But
yeah.
even if you go, even if I were to become a golfer, I would probably just join Links DAO with Mike
Yeah.
Julius and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Find the crypto way in. And it's so, I mean, that's the thing is like, I know people, this sounds like sort of like gay of me and a little cringe, but I really do think that crypto is the most inclusive thing in the world.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's just like anybody can be a part of it. And like, you will find people of like everything, like, like like every race, color, creed, whatever, like, and you'll get
background.
shit for it. Yeah, exactly. And but like everyone's like truly equal in that way.
Mhm.
And I think that the fact that we socialize the way we do is because crypto people don't want to be a part of the world that is like exclusive, right? And hierarchical. Like
Mhm.
I've noticed that crypto people don't like to kind of be that way in my experience. And maybe it comes from the fact that the rest of the world is set up by normies, and it's just not
Yes, it's
a
true.
complete, a completely different system. I mean, I just
Mhm.
I feel like when you talk about like everybody, you're hanging out with being in crypto, a large part of it too is because we have these digital identities because of crypto, and we live in such a digital world that those digital identities become so strong and so valuable. But when you start socializing with people, you're able to transfer that to your real world identity. And there's a real sense of like purpose that comes from that. And I think that's the real beauty of crypto and the fact that we all get to meet up.
And
Yeah,
also, all those people that I met that have like made it, they're still in the trenches. They know everything that's
Yeah,
going on as well.
they know
Like,
yeah.
everything. Yeah,
No one truly walks away. Bro, there are some people who do it. Like I saw this one like Vermilia girl, she tweeted back in like the December top or something. She's like, just sold everything for 1.7 million, like goodbye, like never gonna talk to anyone again. And I was like, I get that, like I do, but like you're gonna get lonely so fast, And like at the end of the day, like it depends on how old you are, but my life experience has been that like even if you can go extract like 7 things out of a cycle, guess what, buddy? You got to trade that for next cycle because there's still 60 plus freaking years of living to go. And, we
yeah.
need to
And it's going to be
find
a
a way
lot
to
of
make it.
inflation.
Oh my God, is there ever? Yeah.
And I was thinking about people who made it. So um, yeah, our favorite Colby, he changed his profile picture back to on Twitter to the original. Um, and which were interesting to me because I thought that with getting into actual products with Echo and maybe distancing yourself from gambling would be healthy. And like he rose above all of this, and now he's just working on Echo. It's like almost TradFi-ish. But then he made this huge bull pop earlier this year, and now he's changing the profile photo back to when he was on BitMEX. So
Right.
I don't think anybody truly escapes.
I mean, I think that it's interesting, the point that you bring up about Echo and whatnot, because like I think Kobe, for better or for worse, probably is realizing that like everything in crypto is money games. Like if there's like like value attached to it. Like there are like products in crypto that are pure tech, right? Like, oh, look at this Oracle or something like that, right?
Mhm,
But if you're going to do something like Echo, like with Echo, I always felt like that was like kind of tough because, personally, I've done like quite a bit of angel investing in crypto, and it's
mhm,
a lot like it's just like all VC investing, like 9 of 10 deals completely blow up. It's like basically just giving away $10,000 to your friends for
mhm.
no reason at all. So
Yeah,
so Echo always seemed like something that would be tough for retail investors to make money on, but you know,
and
I
that's
agree
why
with
I
you.
haven't really participated because I was worried about the same thing.
Ah,
And I'm sure they do some filtering, but the 2017 ICOs are still quite clear in my memory, and I don't really have what I,
yeah,
what I would say about Echo is I've been shying away from it because I don't have an edge. If somebody invited me
yeah,
to their project, if somebody said, "Hey, we're going to use Echo for it, put some money in," like if you did that tomorrow, I would be in. But of random ones, I don't have an edge, and then I'm a bit scared.
yeah. I think that's a really good way to put it. And by the way, what you just said is like 100%. Like edge is everything. Like people think edge is everything in trading. Like that's only somewhat true. There's like so much noise in like crypto trading that it like obviously yes, it's true. If you know something, it's a big deal. But really, where edge comes into play is in like these VC deals. And I have a pretty easy example of that is like one of my friends, the one angel deal he passed on, like I think last year, this was like 23 or 24, was Pump.Fun. And he obviously regrets it for so many reasons because, could make a lot of money. But part of the reason he regrets is like he knew the team and the product and everything really well. Like he felt like it was going to do pretty well. So he kind of does beat himself because he's like, I actually
Yeah.
had the edge there as opposed to other stuff where it's just like giving money to your friend. So yeah, always act when you can.
But how's your how much of your assets in this world do you hold as in Ether in a percent?
Oh gosh, so much. It's got to be
It is,
over
right?
90
That's what
percent over.
that's
Yeah,
what I thought. So has it been
yeah.
an emotional week? And also, will you ever sell, or is Ether like your Bitcoin?
Yeah, really good question. Yeah, the week, first of all, has been excellent. Always it's been wonderful because I'm traveling with my family. As I mentioned, the reason I'm off camera is that I'm up in the woods of northern Ontario right now. So pretty dark. But yeah, so it's been nice just to be spending time with them, watching the market pump. It's been nice too because I'm a longtime believer in ETH,
Yeah.
and I felt like obviously this moment was coming. It was a little bit overblown FUD. But yeah, as far as like will I ever sell?
Into
My
like
my
Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, is like my like thing has always been like to like I try to tweet the bottom and the top. I was able to get the BTC bottom to like the hour it happened back in 2022 this year, so I have a pretty good lineup on that. ETH is
We,
just more of like a long term. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we made a T-shirt of the bottom.
Really? That's
We,
amazing. I should buy
we,
that. It's perfect for me.
well, you can't buy it.
Well, either way, I'd say that for me, like, yeah, it's tough because I do believe in like trying to top tick sell the cycles and then buy back at the bottom, but I also feel like
Yes.
ETH is kind of changing though. Like it's becoming like if I were to sell, like for the first time, I'd probably think of doing more to like BTC than dollars. But even then, I'm not
Yes.
sure. I feel like ETH is really it's always been institutionalized, but it's kind of like hitting and also just to be honest, like with my personal situation, like because of the time I've been in crypto, it's like I could just put that stuff on Aave and like use the yield.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's like for the culture, I kind of want to hold, but
Yeah.
we'll see. What about you? I mean, what are you thinking of this cycle?
I don't know. Now I'm on leverage. Not much. I no, I do so little. It's like 10%.
Okay.
So it's people go on the futures and they do like 3x. I'm like 1.1.
Yeah, keep it
So
low. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna ramp that up as as summer ends. So I want to have quite a bit of leverage by September sometime,
Yeah.
and then um, I'll try to have some discipline, just reduce the leverage as the euphoria starts, and if it's too euphoric, I might sell BTC for dollars. Because I'm
I
like you,
could see that.
I'm 95% BTC, right? Well, now I'm more than that
Nice.
because of the leverage. So,
Yeah.
so I might sell something into dollars if I feel that FTX euphoria, where all the tokens are going up, everybody's posting screenshots. If I
And we're
feel
getting there.
maybe I'll cash in a little bit.
I think you should. I mean, this is my take, right? Is like you always have to think of it this way. It's like whatever you cash into, is there going to be something that it goes down less against, right? Like, and I don't know. For me, at least, like I have found that if you're really plugged into crypto Twitter, if you're a big crypto person, you're probably going to be able to time the top and bottom within plus or minus 10%, and that's like more than enough to make it work. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I always hate like the moment of like going to all stables because I've just I prefer to have all my money in crypto and but just
yeah,
because of the volatility of our industry, you kind of have to have that timing. But right now is certainly not the time to do it. I don't
no,
know, some people were kind of freaked out by the PPI report today and the selling. Like, let me tell you right now, like we are nowhere close to the top
no, no.
and it comes way quicker than people expect.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good advice. And if I do cash out, it'll be in the stuff that I cash out will be into dollars because I just have
Yeah.
BTC, right? And then I can put those dollars on Aave, and because the market is euphoric, the interest is going to be like what
Oh, it'll be
25%.
ridiculous. Yeah. No, you'll
So
be able to get such good
it'll
yield.
feel
It'll be
good.
insane.
It'll feel very good. And that makes
Yeah.
it
Oh, it
so
always
much
does.
nicer. It makes it so much nicer to cash out because you're missing out on a pump. But if you're short or if you're an Aave or whatever, you're just getting so much yield. So
You
it
do.
actually
It's
feels kind of nice.
ridiculous. And also I will say like, you've been through cycles, I've been through cycles. Anyone who hasn't been through multiple, I hope that they can hear this and learn from it. You will always feel like your bags can like 2x or more when you
They
sell at
will.
the top.
They will.
Like you never sell. It's never like, oh, okay, we're all set. It's not like bottoms at all. With bottoms, you can kind of just like tell,
Yes.
it's like
Because it
they're
has
like
because
think
it
of like
drags on.
Exactly. Like think of the most recent ETH bottom. It was just like what like ETH BTC got down to like
6 months.
2019 levels. Yeah, it was just like what it's like this is not gonna this is not gonna change. So I do think that that's like something to keep in mind. And if you're looking for like, in my opinion, like on BTC, because like that's and I still obviously BTC is like the next. I mean that and ticker Bitcoin are the biggest loves of my heart. I think MVRVZ score is really the one to watch, and I don't know if you're familiar with that or if you've seen it
Nope.
before, but oh, I really recommend this metric. I think this is like the best metric for BTC there is. It's MVRVZ score, and you can go look it up. And every cycle, it's usually exceeded, I think, like 6 or 7 when it's topped. I'm looking for it to exceed 4 or 5 prior to a top this cycle, but it might go higher. I really recommend the MVRVZ score, not
Can we
just
get
for
this on
BTC,
screen,
but
Blake?
pardon me. Oh yeah,
Blake,
yeah. I'll let.
can we get this on the computer?
Yeah, if y'all want to try and screen share it, if it's all right, if not, but
If not, it's cool.
basically, it's yeah, the MVRVZ score is like really good for other tokens too. Like it's great for alts and for ETH because you can usually predict them to top like right after MVRVZ scores top. So that's
So what
how I
what's the
tend to trade cycles.
so if the score on Bitcoin goes above
Yeah.
what?
Well, I'm being a little conservative. I'm kind of trying to look for it to go above like 4.5 to 5 this cycle before I think it might.
Really?
If you look at just because it's like where we
Yeah.
are in this cycle, it feels like BTC would have to like double to get it like up above that. And maybe it will. Maybe there's some, but like Sailor is already like out of money, like hence like the $18 million bid most recently.
We, we've
Um,
said that before though. He's done small bids and then he's done large ones
true.
after.
I mean, he'll raise it in the future. Like BTC is going to $1 million someday, no matter what. Like if you want to go,
Of
if
course.
you're looking for good, yeah, if you're looking for good charts, go check the Bitcoin Power Oscillator Law chart. That's another one that I love. That one was created by this German guy in like 2010. It's the easiest chart,
2010?
dude. Yeah, or maybe not 2010, maybe like 2011. It's like so freaking old. This chart
Yeah.
is it's the easiest chart to use to hold your BTC. Like you can never sell your BTC if you look at this chart. And the reason why is because it has one line for support and one line for resistance, and it creates a channel, right? And in this channel, at a minimum, if it just like hugs the support, BTC will hit 1 million spot in 2034. And it's not going to hug the support. It's going to do better than that. And so
Yeah.
I can't see like any reason to sell out of BTC, like if you can hold it long term, so long as we're in this channel. So for the past freaking, like, I kid you not, 10 freaking years, I've been like convincing myself to hold on the basis of like, oh, well, we haven't left the channel. So
I love these. It honestly anything that gives me even more conviction, which is difficult. I'm into that.
yeah, well, you should have conviction right now, my friend. I think one last piece of alpha I can drop before I have to depart, as it's getting a little later here. I have a friend who he works like in the billionaire family office world and everything, right? And all of these like big high net worth people, they're all so interested right now in buying Ethereum and buying Bitcoin, and like the Kathy Woods
Nice.
of the world's like, yeah, their schedules are
Keep
so busy,
talking, keep
and so
talking.
yeah. Oh well, dude, you're gonna love the punch. You're gonna. That's not even the alpha. You're gonna love the punchline to this. So he's in this meeting, right? And like they're looking at like they just pull up like because he's a younger guy and they're asking him like, oh, do you know about these tokens? Well, he's like, yeah, I've got a ton of ETH, a ton of Bitcoin and whatnot. And so they pull it up, and this was earlier today when prices were going down, right? Because of PPI and everything. And so he pulls it up and he's like, looks like we're a bit down today. And I so wish I could tell you who this was. It's not my story, so I can't. I really wish. But the guy like looks at him and just smiles. He's like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that at all. So there's a lot more liquidity that's going to be injected into those bags, I think.
Fingers
And
crossed.
since you're short on time, let's talk about stuff that you're working on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I appreciate that. And I mean, right now, ticker Bitcoin, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. We will be hosting a party in Singapore for Token 2049. So hope to get to see y'all there. I know we had a great time last year getting to see Andreas and JMO, who was mentioned earlier, and hopefully
He's
Blake
gone.
too. Yeah. Very wonderful. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great time. I think we're going to do it with Hourbit and SPX, so it'll be a good good mashup.
Cool.
I'm actually trying to get so they might get embarrassed by me outing them on this, but hey, I want to drop as much alpha on this pod as I can. So Morelight, who's one of the co-founders of Ticker Bitcoin, he is like in a relationship. Like his girlfriend is Space, who is one of the co-founders of SPX. So they're basically like, yeah, they're like this, like, I know, they're
Power
like this
couple.
meme coin. I know. So, well, I've got this whole idea. No, I've got this whole idea for our party where it's like they're going to be the king and queen of ETH meme coins, and the party is going to be their court, right? And last year, Murad came, and I wrote to him. I was like, "Can you come this year? Like, I need someone to like crown them, coordinate them." And he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I'm just so locked in right now. I can't." And I believe him. That guy's just making videos nonstop. But yeah, so things are good there. Blockchain or L2 that's on Bera. We have test kek out right now. We're going to be putting main kek out in a bit. And there's going to be some cool money games on there and some cool airdrops. But yeah, just excited for where this cycle is going. I can tell you that a lot of the more major players have been hitting me up recently for like the kind of trenches consulting, consulting stuff. Like I'm seeing a lot of really cool large, both like on the CEX end as well as like the L1 end. They're really interested in like how to read the room and how to talk to the trenches. So I think it's a really good time to be in crypto right now. And yeah, are y'all interested in anything in particular these days or doing any projects? I always want to hear what the shitcoin.com agenda is.
Blake?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've restarted this, obviously shitcoin.com related, but we're obviously busy on the sideshift.ai side as well.
Let's
So
go.
that's always something that we're pretty busy with. But yeah, hoping we can step up these live streams. It's just a fun way as well, just to catch up with people we know in the space, right? So
Yeah, no, I
yeah,
feel
it's fun.
so. Look, I want to do another where I can come on camera. I feel I've been like holding my phone, looking at this freaking, in black just person in front. I'm like, I need to go animate, and do some stuff. But yeah, I gotta say, like y'all, like really, it's always like such a pleasure. I always love like whether it's Sideshift or whether it's shitcoin.com. Being able to read the room is huge in crypto. Like what I just said, there's a reason all these places are reaching out. And I never, not that I would expect that to have to educate anyone here, but I come here and y'all know what's going on. You have insightful things to say about it. And so I'm really glad that the live streams are back, because if anyone's trying to make it in crypto, these are the live streams to watch, like period. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
don't watch the guy, don't watch those guys with the whiteboards.
No, oh my god, dude, it's ridiculous. No, and like what made me so mad, by the way, like last little thing I'll say, that whole freaking phase banks and his whole thing, the token that they dropped. I get that everyone jacks ticker Bitcoin in some way, but they ripped off like the worst thing to rip off. They ripped off our name stylization. Like I don't even remember what they. Yeah, no, you know how like we're Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10. They made it. It was something like, what was it? It was like 420 blaze it, no scopes. I can't remember what it was, but it just pissed me off so much because like that's been done before. Like I remember like when the XRP ticker they were HP08. They were like Harry Potter, Voldemort, Robotnik, something I forget. I don't know, but just people trying to invert stuff. Like I can understand maybe ripping off slogans or imagery, but just to rip off the name stylization and then to fill it with just absolute slop like that. Oh my god! That's the thing. It's like at least read the room and be crypto native. Like you're just so normy. It's just like being attacked by. It sounds like there's some guy on Cody just jumping out of the bushes at me to try to assault me with this strobe light. It's ridiculous, but yeah, no, fellas, it's been great. I'm trying to think. Oh, one last thing that we are doing for Ticker Bitcoin is we have our annual party for Art Basel in December in Miami.
Cool.
And so I know it's kind of far away, but if y'all are able to come, that's another thing that I really recommend to any degens. Art Basel is a really great conference because it's not actually a crypto conference, right? So there's no one there to try to like sell you stuff. It's just people who are a part of the community who have done well that are coming to celebrate. And there's a lot of billionaires there too. So it's a great place to raise and network.
Okay, that's a good kicker.
But cool. So I guess we'll call it there. Yeah, appreciate you coming on.
Anytime. Yeah, no, Blake, thank you.
Is the newsletter out yet?
No, yeah, no, we'll have a newsletter live later today. So,
Yeah, follow the Twitter and you'll see
yeah.
it.
Very